For months, you grew inside your mother, surrounded by your siblings. At first there were many of you, but now only a few remain. Because not all of you were meant to survive. Inside the womb you didn't just grow, you fed. Not on your mother, but on unfertilized eggs produced just for you. Some of your siblings weren't as lucky. The strongest grew, and the weaker ones didn't. Now, you are ready. The walls around you contract, pushing you forward. And suddenly the warmth of the womb is gone. Water rushes against your skin, filling the space around you. There is no mother waiting for you, no siblings to stay by your side. The moment you entered this world, you became just another predator in the deep. And right now, you're a small one. Something moves nearby, a flicker of movement just outside your vision. You don't see it, but you feel it. Tiny electric pulses flicker in the water. They are barely noticeable. But your snout picks them up. This is going to be your first hunt. You slowly move toward the signal because your body isn't built for speed. You actually don't need speed, you just need to get close. Then you strike. Your jaw launches forward, far beyond your mouth, and your teeth snap shut around something that moves for a second before going still. You pull your jaw back, swallowing your first meal whole. You don't think about what it was. A fish, a crustacean, maybe even another goblin shark born just seconds too late. And now, for the first time, you flick your tail and push yourself forward. There is no place to hide here, so you sink lower, disappearing into the dark. It has been a few weeks since you were born, and you are getting better at surviving in the dark. The deep is quiet, but it is never empty. You are small and easy to miss, which is exactly how you survive. You don't move much. Instead, you let the ocean carry you. Your body floats easily because of the thick oil inside your liver. The less energy you waste, the better. Then something moves. A dim shape flickers in and out of view. You don't react right away. You let your snout do the work. Faint electric signals pulse through the water, too steady to be a struggling fish and too slow to be prey. You drift closer until the shape becomes clear. It looks strange. Its body is dark, but its head is completely clear. It's a barrel-eye fish. Through the glassy dome of its skull, its green eyes shine like dim lights. It doesn't swim like other fish. Instead, it floats in place with its eyes locked on something above. You don't know what it's watching and you don't care. You're more focused about how you're going to eat it. You move a little closer, waiting to see if it reacts, but before you can get near, it moves. Its fins tilt slightly, and in one smooth motion it swims away, disappearing into the dark. You hesitate for a moment, wondering if you should follow, but there's no point because you're not fast enough. You stay where you are, letting the moment pass, but the encounter stays in your mind. You are not alone down here. Now you are a few months old, stronger than before, but still small enough to be a target. You are getting better at hunting, but you still have a lot to learn. The deep sea is full of creatures that don't move much, and that suits you just fine. Drifting near the seafloor, you sense something ahead. It's small, barely moving, and hidden in the sand. You move closer, carefully trying to keep your body still. When you are close enough, you strike. Your jaws shoot forward, snapping at the spot where the signals are strongest. But the moment your teeth touch the sand, something happens. A sudden shock runs through your body. A painful jolt that makes your muscles stiffen. The sand bursts apart, and before you can react, the creature shoots away in a cloud of dirt and debris. You stay frozen for a moment, trying to understand what just happened. The signals are gone. Whatever was there escaped. It wasn't just any fish. It was a stargazer, a predator that buries itself in the sand and waits for prey to get too close. You thought you were the hunter, but instead you walked right into its trap. And the shock? That wasn't an accident. Stargazers can produce electricity to stun their enemies. You shake off the feeling and move away. Embarrassed, though no one is watching. This time you were too confident. You won't make the same mistake again. At 6 months old, you're starting to see things that make no sense. The deep sea is dark, but sometimes something breaks the darkness. Light, faint and distant, glowing in the water like a signal. You don't see light often, and when you do, it means one of two things: food or danger. Drifting in the open water, you notice something ahead. A soft blue glow, pulsing slowly in the distance. It is too smooth to be another fish. It doesn't move like prey. You don't know what it is, but you are curious. You move closer, careful not to get too close too quickly. The glow becomes clearer. It's not a fish, it's something much bigger. It is a deep-sea jellyfish. You stop and watch. You have never seen anything like it before. Then, without warning, the glow changes. It flares bright, then bursts outward in a wave of pulsing light. You don't wait to find out what it means. You move back, just in time to see long, nearly invisible tentacles stretch toward the space where you just were. You don't need to get any closer to know what would have happened if you had stayed. The light fades again, going back to the soft, steady pulse it had before. The jellyfish continues floating, waiting for something else to come too close. You turn and drift away, leaving it behind. You don't know if it was hunting or just trying to defend itself. You are now a year old. You have learned what to chase and what to avoid. But today, you learn something new. How to steal. After some time swimming around, a smell reaches you. It's faint at first, but it gets stronger as you move forward. You follow it, letting the current guide you until a shape begins to form ahead. It is larger than anything you have ever seen before. The closer you get, the more you understand. It is a whale, or at least what is left of one. Its body is slowly sinking, while chunks of flesh are torn away by creatures that found it before you. You're not alone. Small scavengers pick at the softest parts, tiny crustaceans swarm over the decaying skin, and farther up, a sleeper shark drifts just above the carcass, waiting for its turn. You move closer and open your jaws, testing the flesh with a careful bite. It is different from what you are used to, but it's food, and in the deep sea, food is never guaranteed. Then the sleeper shark moves. It was watching and waiting to see if you would get too close. Now it's swimming forward, cutting off your path to the carcass. It's larger and much stronger than you. You have no choice this time. This is not your meal. You back away while keeping your movements very, very slow. The shark, luckily, doesn't follow you. You turn and swim back into the open water. You've learned that not every meal is yours to take, and in the deep, some fights are just not worth having. At 2 years old, you are big enough to hunt larger prey, but sometimes, even the best hunters make mistakes. Something moves ahead, drifting slowly in the water. It's small and doesn't react when you get closer. It looks like a jellyfish, the kind that floats near the surface waiting for prey to wander too close. You've seen them before and know to be careful. Your snout picks up no electric signals. That should be a warning, but you don't think about it. You are hungry, and it looks like easy food, so you decide to eat it. Your jaws snap forward, closing around the strange object. But the moment you bite down, you know something is wrong. It doesn't tear apart like flesh. It doesn't taste like anything at all. It folds under the pressure of your bite, then floats back into shape as you let go. It's not food. You don't know what it is, but it does not belong here. You leave it behind, confused. There is no time to think about things that do not matter. You need real food, and whatever that was, it was not alive. Far above you at the surface, there are more of these strange objects. They float in the waves and sink slowly into the deep. You will never know where they come from. But one day, when your instincts fail you, just for a second, you might bite the wrong thing again and not be able to spit it out. You are 5 years old now, no longer small and fragile. But in the deep ocean, size doesn't make you safe. The ocean is quiet, but today, something feels different. You are not alone. You sense movement nearby, slow and steady. It's way too large to be ordinary prey. The signals are faint but familiar. It's another shark. Not just any shark, but another goblin shark. You have never seen another of your kind before. You do not live in groups. You do not hunt together. You do not need each other. But still, you follow it. The other shark is bigger than you, older and more experienced. It does not react to you and doesn't change its course. It moves forward without hesitation, ignoring everything around it. You stay behind just watching and learning. For a while, it feels like you are going the same way, like you are connected by some unspoken rule. Then without warning, the other shark changes course. It moves faster, cutting through the water with a purpose you do not understand. You try to keep up, but it is too fast, too sure of where it is going. You fall behind, your body not strong enough to match its movements. And then just like that, it's gone. The darkness swallows it whole, and you are alone again. You wait, wondering if it will come back, but nothing moves. The deep is silent once more. You do not know why it left, but for the first time you understand that there are others like you, somewhere out there in the dark, moving through the deep and living their own lives. You may never see another goblin shark again. Or maybe, one day, when you are older, stronger, and larger, another will find you, and this time, you will be the one who disappears first. You stay in place a little longer, scanning the darkness. But there is nothing left. The ocean has swallowed the other shark as if it were never there. Still, you hesitate. You have followed the same currents, drifted through the same waters, but now it is gone. Was it hunting? Fleeing? Searching for something? You do not know. A part of you wonders if it ever noticed you at all. You push forward again, but something feels different. For the first time, the deep does not feel entirely empty. The thought lingers. There are others. Maybe watching, maybe passing just out of reach, maybe drifting along the same unseen path. But the deep does not bring answers. It only brings more dark water ahead, stretching forever. So you move forward, alone once more, never knowing if your kind will find you again. You are 20 years old now, a lifetime spent in the dark. The deep hasn't changed, but you have. You're just not as fast and agile as you were before. But still, you hunt and try your best to survive. Then something changes. A strange vibration pulses through the water. It's not a fish, not a predator, not anything you recognize. Before you can react, something wraps around you. A sudden, crushing force pulls you upward. You twist, try to fight, but it's useless. The water thins. The pressure weakens. You are being dragged somewhere you were never meant to go. Then, light. It burns. The cold vanishes. Your body feels heavier, your gills no longer pulling in water. You thrash once, then again, but it doesn't matter. The deep doesn't care that you lived. It only cares that everything here has a limit, and now you've reached yours. The year is 1898, and a strange shark is hauled onto a fishing boat in Sagami Bay, Japan. Shipmaster Alan Ostin looks at the pale, lifeless creature with its jagged teeth and too long snout. He hands it over to a Japanese professor, who brings it to David Starr Jordan, an American ichthyologist. They study it fascinated. It's something new. Something never seen before. You're the first goblin shark ever discovered. For them, it's a breakthrough. For you, it's the end. Life as a goblin shark might be rough, but there's another animal out there that has it way worse. Trust me, it's wild. Check out the video and see for yourself.